What up guys, Super Metal 993 here to bring us updates and purchases number 35 part 2. Now, as you know in the previous updates and purchases, 35 part 1, if you've watched it, if not, link down below. I just showcased all the usual stuff that I usually showcase before the CDs and stuff like that. You know, the shirts, the patches, the DVDs, games if there is any, and also me honourable mentions like shout-outs and stuff like that. But this one is going to be dedicated all on the CDs because it's been like nearly 6 months, maybe even longer, since we last updated some purchases and stuff's kind of mounted up. I've got like 3 big piles about this big, you know. Yeah, that's in perspective for you. But yeah, so I've got a lot of showcase, so we've got a separate episode for ourselves, or else the updates and purchases would just be like an hour and a half, an hour 45 minutes. Not even joking, that will probably be it. But anyway, so I've poured myself a coffee. I've got a toffee nut latte, because I'm a posh cunt, what can I say? But anyway, if you want to light a cigarette or go and get a beer or coffee, tea, whatever you drink, because this one's going to be a long update. I mean, I timed this not too long ago and I think it was going to take about 45 minutes, but it may take a little bit longer, but we'll see what happens. So I've got my coffee, so let's get on with it. We're going to start off with some splits that I got on CD, one of them being one of my favourite splits of all times, and that is Nocturnal Mortem along with Graveland. This is the split that they done, I believe, last year, or maybe the year before, 2016, 2015, called The Spirit Never Dies, which, there we go, The Spirit Never Dies. Really nice spot gloss on there, and there's some really nice spot gloss on here. But yeah, this is an amazing, amazing album, if you ask me. If you haven't heard this, make sure you do. If you're into black metal or folk metal, you've heard of these guys, and in my opinion, Nocturnal Mortem takes the beef on that one. Next up, and the final split, is the Angel Maker and A Night in Texas split, Unholy Alliance, which is this one. In my opinion, and a lot of people's opinion, Angel Maker takes it on this one. They bring the brutality, but A Night in Texas was pretty good, but Angel Maker is where it's at for this one. Next up, we've got a compilation. Now, as you know, compilations is a very fucking rare thing for me, but I saw this one on eBay, really liked the artwork, and I thought, I'll look it up, see what it's about, and I thought, you know what, it's only a couple of quid, I'll pick it up. And this is a tribute to Emperor in honour of Icon E, I believe it's called, yeah, which is this one. Yeah, look at that artwork, really solid stuff. I just decided to check this out because, in all honesty, Emperor, they've never been one of my favourite bands. I've kind of overlooked them a little bit, I've just gone meh, really. But this one I decided to pick up just to see if I can get into them a little bit more. I don't know why. I've got In the Night-Side Eclipse on CD, but I thought, you know what, I'll get this, see if there's anything different about it. So I thought I'd check this out. It's got some cool bands on it and stuff. So yeah, really happy to have this. It's actually a pretty cool, neat compilation. So if you ever get a chance, pick that up. Pretty cheap, awesome stuff. Next up, we're on to the actual albums and EPs and stuff. So let's get on with it. Let's go on with it and take a sip of coffee. What can you do? Anyway, this is one of the best death metal releases of 2017. Abhorrent Decimation with The Pardoner. Excellent UK death metal, kind of verging on deathcore a little bit on the influences, but yeah, as you can see, got signed by the band. Awesome stuff. This will be in my top albums, definitely. Make sure you check it out. Excellent stuff. Any bands that I mentioned that I feel like mentioning, I'll leave some links to Facebooks and stuff down below. I might link to some Bandcamps and big cartels like I usually do, but it might just be Facebooks because of how much we've got to get through. Anyway, next up, Abzu with Abzu. Yeah, which I'll just, there we go. Yeah, this is my first Abzu album and the first exposure to the band personally. Like, I've never really been drawn to check them out, but this album is absolutely amazing. Absolutely love it. If you want to get into Abzu, definitely start with this one. This is where I started, and it's amazing if you ask me. So check that out. Next up, some really cool and quite interesting brutal tech death from Unique Leader. This is Afterbirth with The Time Traveler's Dilemma. long-awaited debut album, and it's very unique, very interesting sounding, and I love it. I really dig it. So check these out if you haven't already. Next up, we have the new Hailstorm with No Grave But the Sea. Digibook edition with a bonus disc, which I'll get to in a second. But yeah, this album is absolutely amazing. Definitely a big step up from Sunset of a Golden Age. It took a long time for us to click with that album, but this one, straight away, it just clicked with us. But might as well add, because Hailstorm's absolute nutcases, they've done an album, No Grave But the Sea, for dogs. Yeah, because it's Hailstorm, why not? And I might as well just add, I haven't listened to that one, but I'm kind of scared to because I know I'm going to piss myself laughing at it, so yeah. Next up, we have Aliases, or Aliases, yeah. Aliases, I think it's how it's pronounced, Safer Than Reality EP. Really happy to have this, really good UK progressive metal. Next up, some really solid prog rock, very powerful stuff. This is Arcane Roots with Melanchoma Hymns. Yeah, check these guys out. I saw them opening for Fightstar a couple of years back, and this is their new album, and it's amazing, beautiful, and just powerful as hell. Love it. Next up, my favourite black and death metal album of all times. I got the shirt in Hell's Headbangers, and now I've got the CD. But this is Archgoat with the Apocalyptic Triumph there. In the whole war metal, black and death metal world, this is my favourite album, and I think it's absolutely amazing. It's in a like weird slipcase. There we go. On the back, it's kind of different to the the slipcase, but what can you do? But yeah, this album, in my opinion, is just amazing, just so enjoyable to listen to. Next up, I reviewed this album, link down below. This is the new Arcite album with, what's it called again? As the Fire Takes Hold. Yeah, absolutely amazing album. They've returned with a more melodic approach and a bit more of a soothing melodies sort of approach rather than a bit of a riff fest compared to the other ones. But I might as well also showcase this because there's the booklet. Yeah, really nice stuff. Where is it? I'm in the thanks list on here, which I can't remember where it is. I might as well. Oh, found it right there. See if we can find it. Can we see it? Right there. Ryan Thurl, that's me. Yeah, I just thought I'd share that because that's the first time that's ever happened for me, and I'm truly blown away. And they're my brothers. I absolutely love the guys, and I love this band. They're one of my probably my favourite local band. I absolutely love them. So if you're into Killswitch Engage, definitely check out Arcite and their new album, and also check out their old album as well. Next up, moving on to some death metal perfection, if you ask me. Autopsy with the Headless Ritual. I've already got one of their albums on CD, and this one is now in the collection as well. I need to get more from Autopsy, but this album crushes so much. I absolutely love this, and I'm so happy to finally have it in my collection. I've heard so many good things about it, and then I finally listened to it again after so long, and I was like, yeah, this connects with us. Amazing stuff. Next up, the new Bad Sign album, their debut album called Live and Learn. Really solid prog rock, kind of progressive metal, version on both. Excellent stuff. Next up, we have, I saw these opening for Vacivus in Trillions, and I had to pick up this CD because they were excellent. This is Barshesketh with Ophidian Henosis. I think that's how it's pronounced. But yeah, this is the album. As you can see, I got it signed by the guys. Really solid stuff. Quite atmospheric black metal. Not atmospheric black metal like straight up, just like very ambient sort of sound to it. But yeah, really enjoyable stuff, and this album kills so much, so check them out if you haven't already. I'll leave a link down below for them. Next up, another album I reviewed, the new Black Dahlia Murder album with Nightbringers. Easily one of the best death metal records of 2017. It opens up like that. Really nice stuff. Let's turn the CD. There we go. Yeah, really awesome presentation there. But yeah, Black Dahlia Murder have returned, and in my opinion, the best album since Ritual. This is incredible stuff. Check out my review, link down below. Next up, the new Body Count with Bloodlust. Really happy to own this, and this is a big step up from Manslaughter. Like, Manslaughter I really enjoyed, but there was a lot of things that I wasn't too keen on. They ironed those out and brought the riffs on this album. Yeah, Ice-T is the man. Absolutely love it. Great stuff. Next up, the latest Body Farm album called Battle Breed. As you know, I love Body Farm, and I got the Digipack version. Yeah, really enjoy this album, especially the bonus track, Slaves of War, which is the track from their debut EP. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's self-titled. Could be wrong. Next up, wow, this release. I'm going to talk more about it in Super Metal recommendations, but this is Bound in Fear with Regicide. Wow, amazing down-tempo from the UK. I saw these guys at Fall in the Brought, and they brought it. It's number 75, I believe. No, 72 out of 100. Absolutely love this. Got this through Chugcore. Happy about that. Next up, this is in Super Metal Recommendations, episode 3. If you want to hear more, check out the link down below. But this is Brother Lynch Hung with Manable Lecter. A rap album that appeared in Super Metal Recommendations, and this is easily my favourite rap album at the moment. It's god tier. It's absolutely amazing. It's got a real edge to it and creepiness to it, and after you've listened to it, you'll be seeing grr for non-stop for days after. I keep on texting me mate who's into rap, and I'm like, hey mate, what? Grr. And we'll piss ourselves at them. But anyway, moving on. Chugcore with sorry, not Chugcore with, I should say that Chugcore put this out. This is Colossal with Nowhere. Sick beatdown deathcore. Check them out if you haven't already. Awesome stuff. Oh, so happy to own this finally. The Contortionist with Exoplanet. Wasn't too keen on the new album, and then it made us think, wait a minute, I don't have Exoplanet. I'll need to pick that up. So I picked it up on CD. Really happy to finally own it. Easily one of my favourite albums of all time. Amazing stuff. Next up, got Counting Days with Liberated Sound. Shitty digitally kind of design, but really solid album if you're into metalcore. Check them out. Next up, oh, I'm a little bit stuck. You heard that. The new Cradle of Filth called Cryptoriana. Cryptoriana? I think that's right. Cryptoriana. The Seductiveness of Decay. Yeah, another solid album from Cradle of Filth. Great follow-up to Hammer of the Witches. It's definitely, it feels like Hammer of the Witches Part 2, but in my opinion, Hammer of the Witches is slightly better. But this is still a very solid album. Awesome stuff. Next up, got the new Crowbar, which is called The Serpent Only Lies. Solid album from Crowbar, and I'm really happy to own this one. Next up, I cannot remember how to pronounce this album title, or what the album's actually called in English, but this is the latest Cult of Fire album, which is this one. Yeah, sensational black metal. Absolutely love this stuff. It's kind of got a Middle Eastern kind of theme to it, and I absolutely love it. It's amazing. Next up, the new Currents album, The Place I Feel Safest. Big step up from their previous work, and this is absolutely amazing. Check it out. Metal Viking 82 or back us up. This is an amazing, amazing album. Next up, I got this when I saw Malevolence on their album release tour. Beatdown Hardware had a little store there, and I had a couple of CDs, so I picked up a couple of bits. But this is Dead End Tragedy with Panic Overdose. Yeah, I've listened to this, and it's not that great in all honesty. It's kind of mediocre, but I might give it another spin. It might change in the upcoming future, but it is what it is. Next up, self-titled EP by Deli Plaza. Yeah, another one for the Deli Plaza collection. I only need the like kind of red one, which was released under We Are Triumphant Records. So hopefully we'll get a CD of those in the collection sometime, because that is bar none my favourite of theirs. Next up, some amazing tech death. This is Desecravity with Orphic Signs. Yeah, check these guys out if you want some intense, fast-paced, technical as hell death metal. It's amazing. Something to give Brain Drill a run for their money, if you ask me. Next up, we have Desolated with the End. Another album I picked up from the Malevolence show. I just decided to pick this up because it was there, but you might be able to see that. Yeah, I got it signed by, I believe it's the guitarist of the band. But yeah, Digislave once again. But this album is pretty solid. Check it out if you haven't already. Rest in peace, Desolated. Next up, some MySpace era deathcore. I know it's a term that's getting used a lot, but this is absolutely amazing. This is a different breed of killer with Colossus? Yeah. This is just heavy, old school, just gritty deathcore, just brutal stuff. If you like old Carnifex, you'll love this. And old I Declare War, this is definitely for you. So happy to have this in the collection. Next up, another rap album. We have Dr. Dre with The Chronic. What more can I say? Absolute classic. Ain't nothing but a G-thing, baby. What a tune. Anyway, moving on. Dr. Living Dead with Crush the Sublime Gods. Yeah, some great crossover thrash. I'm not mainly into crossover thrash. It's not my thing at all. But this album sung out to me, and it's absolutely amazing. Absolutely love this album. I need to check out their new one at some point. So yeah, really happy with that one. And that kind of shiny cover, sick as fuck. Love it. Next up, new Discarnate with the album, what's it called? With All Their Might. Really hard to see there. But yeah, another great return to form. I absolutely love this album. Like, and So It Came to Pass was one of my favourites in 2012, I believe it came out. And this one is one of my favourites of 2017. They have returned. They are easily one of the best death metal bands going at the moment, and I absolutely love them. This album is fucking riffing. If you want some hard riffs, definitely check out that album. Next up, some soothing stuff. We have Elvite with Evocation 1, the Arcane Dominion. Yeah. I haven't checked out part 2, Evocation 2 yet, but this one is beautiful stuff. If you're into folk, definitely check this out. I'll be surprised if you haven't checked it out and you're into folk and you're a metalhead, you know, so check that out. Awesome stuff. Next up, Employed to Serve with The Warmth of a Dying Sun. Really awesome, chaotic hardcore from the UK. Amazing stuff. I just wish I went to see them live. I completely forgot about it. But next up, my first Enslaved album with In Times. Very melodic stuff, very progressive, and killer black metal. Absolutely love it. And I definitely want to explore a little bit more into this band. Give us a link. Let us know in the comments of another Enslaved album to check out. I'm thinking of checking out the one previous. Return, whatever it's called, but anyway, yeah, let us know which one to check out. I know most people will probably say Frost, but what can I do? Anyway, Every Hand Betrayed with Forsaken is next. Another chugcore release. Really awesome deathcore. If you haven't checked them out, make sure you do. Kind of verging on MySpace deathcore kind of era, but well, that's just my opinion. Alright, we've got the next pile. I'm going to take a quick drink of coffee. Getting a bit cold now, but oh well. Next up, another killer death metal release from 2017. Father Befouled with Desolate Gods. Incantation worship style, very slow, very dreary, and just dark, dismal stuff. Absolutely love this album. Check it out. Next up, we have First Fragment with, what's it? Design? I think that's how it's pronounced. Might not be able to see, but anyway. But yeah, this album, really intense, technical, progressive death metal, just amazing. If you're into Obscura, Beyond Creation, you'll find something to like out of this, guys. And funnily enough, the former bassist of Beyond Creation is now in this band, so I'm looking forward to seeing what he can bring to the table on the next album. Next up, 40 Day with Fight the Silence. Really happy to own my second favourite of 40 Day. Rest in peace, this band. Easily one of the best metalcore bands, in my opinion. Oh, now, this one's going to be a bit of talk to do. One of them is in particular. This band never really clicked with me, in all honesty. But then they started to click with us, and I wanted a CD of them. And then UKEM Records said, we're going to be getting a couple of copies in, anyone wants them, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to jump on the opportunity and get the debut. But I've heard the second one is their best one, so I'll check that out. And I checked out the second one, I was blown away by it. Absolutely amazing, 10 out of 10 album, bang on. So it's going to be in my super metal recommendation, so I'm not going to talk too much about the second one. So I ordered it, and they both came. I've ordered the third album as well, which will be on a Twitter soon. I might show that in the Christmas updates and purchases. We'll see what happens. But this is Fortress with Metal Noir Quebecois, I believe it's pronounced. This album is absolutely amazing. Absolutely love this album. I'm so glad it finally clicked with me, and I'm so glad to finally have it in my collection. So yeah, check out Fortress. And this is the album that's going to be in Super Metal Recommendations, episode 4. This is Les Hibes de Notre Epoque. I believe that's how it's pronounced. 10 out of 10. I'm not going to say any more than that. Anyway, next up, we have Gideon with Cold. Yeah, I got this when I saw them support In Heart's Wake at Think Tank in Newcastle. Got the booklet signed by them. Really happy to own this album. Kind of a new metal influence here and there on the riffs department. I really enjoy it. So, yeah, I like new metal. But it's not really a new metal album, but I just feel that way. Anyway. Next up, we have Glass Cloud with The Royal Thousand. Been after this album for a while. Happy to have it. Next up, I've got a God Forbid album. This is Equilibrium. Yeah, really happy to have this one. This is a solid album. I'm going to miss that band. Rest in peace. I know the split up ages ago, but what can you do? Next up, my favourite thrash album of all times. Havoc, Time Is Up. Yeah, this album kills so much. The riffs, the vocals, the drums, the just catchiness. It's just so goddamn good. I'm kind of disappointed it came in the shit Digi-Sleeve, like, but what can you do? This is absolutely amazing. So happy to finally own it in the collection. Next up, we have an album I've reviewed, linked down below. This is Horrified with Allure of the Fallen. Yeah, one of the best releases of 2017. Beautiful melodic stuff. If you're into Caladan Brood, you'll find something I like about these guys. Awesome stuff. Check out my review. Next up, I'm wearing the shirt of this band, but I'll show the CD first. But this is 100th with, I believe it's called Rare. Yeah. I never thought the day would come when 100th would do a shoegaze album. I never thought a hardcore, post-hardcore, melodic hardcore band would do a shoegaze album. But in my opinion, it really works. This is beautiful, beautiful stuff. Very atmospheric, very soothing stuff, and I dig it. I absolutely love it. And I'll just quickly showcase the shirt. The artwork at the bottom there. I look like you're right dick, but what can you do? Yeah, and on the back it's got rare. I think it's 4 times it's got it on the back. A bit weird, but yeah, absolutely love the album. But anyway, moving on. Next up, I got a couple of I Declare War albums. I got the self-titled album. Been on me want list for a while. So glad to finally own it. Obviously the song March On. Absolutely amazing. Next up, I got We Are Violent People by Nature by I Declare War. I do need to get their new album and the Amidst the Bloodshed, I think it's called. But this album is devastating. I'd say this is probably my favourite album of them, definitely. Absolutely love it. Self-titles, not far behind, I might as well add. Next up, new In Heart's Wake with Arc. Excellent post-hardcore from 2017. Next up, one of my favourite death metal albums, Incantation with Vanquish in Vengeance. Been wanting this for so fucking long, and I'm so glad to finally own it. It's just amazing, absolutely amazing. First Incantation album in my collection, and I need to get more. I really do. Next up, Inquisition with Bloodshed Across the Empyrean Altar Beyond the Celestial Zenith. That is a mouthful. This is the Digipack version, which came with the box set, but I do not own the box set. I got the patch from Beatdown Records not too long ago, and, well, not too long ago, saying that, it was back in May or something. And then I popped in after me and my girlfriend had been to Manchester, and they had the CD, and it was like $6.99 or $7.99, so I just thought, you know what, I'll pick it up. But yeah, it's a really solid album. Inquisition, definitely a good in small doses, if you ask me. I enjoy them, but they're definitely good in small doses. Next up, Cataclysm, In the Arms of Devastation. Classic death metal album, and absolutely amazing, if you ask me. Riffs Paradise. Next up, we've got a couple of King Conqueror albums. America's Most Haunted. Brutal stuff. And then even more brutals. B-R-O-O-T-A. Oh no. 4-L-Z. Yeah, I'm a brutal kid, what can I say? Anyway, this is King Conqueror with their latest album, 1776. Yeah, if you want something heavy, listen to this album. You'll be just impaled to the wall and just ripped to shreds. Amazing stuff. Next up, Knights of the Abyss with The Culling of Wolves. Classic MySpace deathcore, but amazing stuff if you ask me. Love it. Next up, we have Creator with Gods of Violence. A great thrash album from 2017. Digibook edition with the DVD live at Wacken. Yeah, really happy to own this one. It's definitely ripping. Next up, this was a complete by, but I can't remember how to pronounce the living shit out of this. Kavelatok, I believe it's pronounced, with Natisford. I probably butchered the living shit out of that, but yeah, this one. I bought this on a complete blind buy because I'd heard some good things about them, but never actually got around listening to them. And I saw it in HMV for, I think it was $2.99, $4.99, something like that. And I just thought, you know what, I'll check it out on Spotify. I looked it up. My phone was on like 2%. Checked it out, and the song I heard was pretty good. So I thought, you know what, I might as well buy it. It's pretty cheap. And then when I got home, really enjoyed this album. It's kind of got this mix of like black metal, a bit of a punk kind of vibe, but then it goes into some hard rock kind of ghost influence stuff, and then closes off with a little bit of Black Sabbath sort of stuff. And it was weird progression, but I absolutely loved it. Really enjoyable stuff. So check out Kavelatok, I believe that's how it's pronounced. Next up, we have Lecturous Nocturne, a couple of releases from them. The Age of Miracles has passed. Been after this album for a while. Really happy to have that. Next up, we've got their latest album, I believe. Behold Almighty Doctrine. Yeah. I can't remember what this album sounds like, so I'm going to give it a shot when I get a chance, but really looking forward to it. I remember it being semi-decent or pretty fucking good. Next up, this one just came in the mail this morning, actually, before I done this video, and I was wondering when it was going to turn up. I was like, did I actually order it? And I checked my emails last night, I was like, oh, I did order it, so yeah, I'm really happy to order it. But this is Leached with their debut EP, album, whatever you want to call it, but called Nothing Will Grow from the Rotten Ground. Yeah, if you're into nails, you will find something you like about these guys. These are excellent power violence, maybe a bit of Weekend Nachos kind of stuff in there, but as you can see, I got signed by the entire band. I asked them in the comments section, but yeah, this is number 26 out of, how many is it? 26 out of 50. Really happy to own this. I always like to get like little gems like this in my collection. Check out Leached. I believe they're from the UK. I could be wrong on that, but yeah, make sure you check out Leached if you like power violence, violent stuff. Next up, Like Moths to Flames with When We Don't Exist. Yeah, the only album I needed of these guys, and I'm really happy to own this. It contains 3 bonus tracks from the Sweet Talker EP. I'd rather have the deluxe, but that's never going to happen. Next up, I had to get these releases because these guys have become one of my favourite deathcore bands. And I'm talking about Lorna Shore, and I got all 3 of their releases so far. I know they've got a debut EP, but this is Maleficent. Yeah, where it all started for me. Love this. Godmaker. What a song. Next up, got their debut album called Psalms. Yeah, check out the song Grimoire. Absolutely amazing. Really happy to own this one. And then their new album. It's one of the best, probably, let's think. Yeah, best deathcore release of 2017, bar none. Flesh Coffin. This album is amazing. Just filled with so much blackened influence and some deep, dark, cult black metal influences thrown into a deathcore blender and come out with Lauren Shaw's Flesh Coffin. This is absolutely amazing. Absolutely love it. This might actually take even longer than I thought. Anyway, this album is probably my album of the year for 2017. I haven't decided fully yet, but this album so far is my album of the year. This is Malevolence with Supremacy. Wow, I've listened to so many albums this year. This one has been on repeat the most, and every time I listen to it, I find something new to like. And in my opinion, it's just god tier. It's riffing, it's punchy, aggressive, and just so goddamn good. If you haven't heard this album, listen to it. And also, while I'm at it, check out my review, link down below. Thank you. Over and out. Next up, we have Mithras with On Strange Loops. Insane progressive technical death metal kind of stuff. Not so much like First Fragment, but just intense. Kind of, I'd say if you like Nile, you'll find something to like about these guys. Not so much the Egyptian thing, just the technicality. Oh, this album. I'm going to be reviewing this at some point because this is amazing. The new Morbid Angel album called Kingdoms Disdained. If you were like me and you were disappointed by Illa Divinum Insane, like, I think it's not as bad as what people make out, personally. That's just my personal opinion. I know I've just lost a load of subscribers, and I've just realised I'm going to lose more subscribers in a second. But anyway, it had some catchy songs on there, in my opinion. I thought they were quite catchy, but that's probably due to me varied taste. But I still wanted some more death metal. And this is a return to form. This is brutal. It's heavy, crushing. This is up there as being one of the best death metal releases, or rather, old school bands coming back, you know, like, I'm not exactly coming back, but Suffocation, for example. This I put up on a wall with Suffocation at the moment. This is just intense assault, just amazing, absolutely amazing. Next up, gonna lose some subscribers. Nickelback with Feed the Machine. I'm not even looking. Go on, click unsubscribe. I dare you. No, honestly, I absolutely love this album. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's a big step up from the previous albums. It just, like, Nickelback, yeah, they get a little bit more hate than they deserve, in my opinion. But this album is a prime example of why they shouldn't, because I think this album is really fucking solid. I mean, the first song I released, Feed the Machine, I was fucking blown away by how good it was. My mate Sean was like, try out the new Nickelback, and I was like, fine. And I was like, that's actually pretty fucking good. Anyway, I hope this redeems myself. This is Nightbringer with, I believe it's Terra Damnata. If camera will focus, there we go. This album is really solid. One of the best black metal releases of 2017. I absolutely love Nightbringer. I believe her last album was a little bit better, but I need to pick up more of them, and this album is definitely proud to be in my collection. Next up, this one's kind of grown on me lately, so I might whittle it straight into my top albums. We'll see what happens. But this is in a hard digibook. But this is the new Nocturnal Mortem with Verity, I believe it's how it's pronounced. Wow, this is fucking amazing. This has grown on me so much. At first, I was like, the artwork's amazing. I might as well add. Come closer. There we go. Look at that artwork. Amazing stuff. I believe it's done by the same guy who done the new Black Dahlia Murder album, the latest Dark Funeral, and I can't remember anymore off the top of my head. But this album, in my opinion, is amazing. It's got a bit more edge to it than I was expecting, but I really dig that, and the packaging is absolutely amazing. Yeah, it's just one disc, but the thickness of this booklet and just all the stuff in it is just amazing. Yeah, if you haven't heard this album, definitely check it out. I know Infidel Amsterdam recently picked it up and was blown away by it, so that should say it all. Anyway, next up, Obey the Brave with Mad Season. A bit of a change in sound for Obey the Brave. I was not expecting this, but I really, really enjoy it. It's a bit more different, but it's not got that like hardcore edge that you might be used to with the first two albums. It's kind of got a bit of a post-hardcore kind of influence nowadays, if you ask me, but I really dig it. I like me post-hardcore. Next up, I reviewed this one, so check it out. October Ends with A New Path. Great local metalcore. If you haven't heard these guys, make sure you check this one out. Excellent stuff. If you're into Architects or old Bring Me the Horizon, like mid-era Bring Me the Horizon, you'll definitely like these guys. Check out my review, link down below. Next up, my band Erebor, link down below. Played a show with these guys up in Newcastle for the launch of Mosh Newcastle, N2BF Promotions, not to be forgotten. Link down below to them guys as well, might as well. But this is On Hollow Ground with Render the Past Redundant. Really solid metalcore. We were kind of the odd band on the bill, as you can expect, tech death with metalcore, but this is really solid stuff, kind of progressive, but very melodic, really enjoyable stuff. Yeah, if me girlfriend ends up watching this, babe, I recommend you check this out. You might find something to like about them. Kind of progressive, like kind of Heart of a Cowardly kind of stuff. Next up, anyway, Origin with Unparalleled Universe. This is amazing stuff, crushing tech death. Big step up from the last album. I thought the last album was a bit meh, but this album slays so much. Love it. Next up, we have Our Last Night with Selective Hearing. I was hoping when I saw these guys on their Selective Hearing UK tour, and I was hoping that they would have at least one CD on there, and they had the new EP, so I got me and my girlfriend a copy each. Yeah, really happy with this. One of the best EPs of 2017. Another great 2017 thrash album, Overkill with The Grinding Wheel. Yeah, I just decided to check this out one day because I'd heard some good things about them, and I'm so glad I did. This album is killer as hell. And we're on to the final pile finally, so let's take another sip of coffee. It's pretty cold now. Didn't expect that. I must have been going quite well. Anyway, next up, Parkway Drive with Killing with a Smile. Really happy to own this one finally. One of my favourite Parkway Drive albums. Definitely check out the song Romance is Dead. Absolutely amazing. So cry me a fucking river, bitch. Love that. Anyway, Parkway Drive, Atlas. Now I only need the new album when it comes out next year, but this album is killer. Check out the song Wild Eyes. Love that album. Next up, the production was the only thing that let down that album in my opinion. Another one from Super Metal Recommendations, episode 3, Powerwolf with Bible of the Beast. Easily my favourite power metal album of all times. Amazing stuff. I've got to write it, she knows. Next up, Prostitute Disfigurement with From Crotch to Crown. I just saw this on eBay, picked it up quite cheap, and I dig it. Really awesome stuff. Kind of death grindy kind of stuff. Death metal goodness. If you're into Aborted or Benighted, definitely check those guys out. Next up, some really good UK progressive metal. This is Terraglyph with Death of a Prince. Yeah, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4 signatures on the front. I asked them to sign it, and they were quite happy. It's weirdly, I don't know if you can see, yeah, it's signed on the jewel case. There's the artwork. Definitely check out these guys if you're into progressive metal. I just decided to check these out because I heard that they were playing UK Tech Fest and they were getting their name stake around the UK, so I thought I'd check them out. Really enjoyable stuff. Definitely check them out. I've just said check them out twice, but oh well. Next up, I ordered these both through the band themselves, but one of the releases was coming from the label Willowtip, and I was like, oh, well, is the EP coming from Willowtip as well? And they were like, no, it's coming from us. And I was like, can I get it signed? And they were like, yep, no bother. So I got the EP from Pyron called Growth Without End, signed by the entire band. I have got their new album in my hand, which I'll show you in a second, but I've got their previous album before this, which I saw them live play, and I got that signed. Amazing album. This EP, absolutely amazing. But in my opinion, the new album called What Passes for Survival. Oh my dear God, it is one of the best death metal releases of 2017. I know I've said that a couple of times, but it's so unique. It's so powerful and desolate. It's got a bit of a desolate kind of vibe and just necro as hell. Absolutely love it. So check out this if you want something very interesting, and in my opinion, I'm going to take this actually out quickly because this is going to be a lot. Actually, no, I'm not. There we go. That artwork, one of the best of 2017 if you ask me. Got an old Ragnarok album called Malediction. I think that's what it's called. Yeah. Solid black metal album. I'm going to need to hurry up a little bit, kind of. Next up, another chugcore release that I picked up. Rain with Born to Rot. sick down-tempo stuff. If you want some brutal stuff, definitely check out these guys. They may appear in Super Metal recommendations. We'll see what happens. Next up, a couple of Rings of Saturn albums. This is Danger. Yeah, probably my favourite of Rings of Saturn. I think all their albums are good, but this one's definitely my favourite. They're all kind of same sort of recipe, you could say, but this one definitely, I think, hits the right buttons. New album's definitely up there as well. This is the new one called Ulta Ula. Yeah, it's pretty good. Nothing really new or different. It's definitely the same recipe that they've done for many years and definitely executed perfection. Next up, Rotten Sound with Abuse to Suffer. Yeah, I picked this up on eBay, quite cheap. Awesome stuff. Really happy to own that. I definitely need to pick up, I think it's Cursed, their album previously. Next up, I saw this on eBay and I was quite surprised because I didn't think this actually made it onto CD. This is the Schoenberg Automaton with Apus. Yeah, great technical deathcore, kind of technical death metal from 2016. Really happy to own this. Yeah, what more can I say? Amazing stuff. If you want something quite barbaric, definitely check those out. This is probably my favourite death metal release of 2017. Bar none. Septicflesh with Codex and Omega. Check out my review down below to know why I absolutely love this album. But yeah, Digipack edition, I didn't go for the like double disc version because didn't really see much point. But yeah, really happy to own this one. Definitely the best of 2017 in the death metal department. Next up, the whole reason I placed the order through Chugcore was because I wanted these albums. And yeah, next up, one more. But this is Shadow of Intent. Yeah, sorry, I kind of blanked out there. But this is their debut album, Primordial. Easily the better of the two, in my opinion. It's just intense, punchy, crazy, chaotic, just nasty technical deathcore. I'm really happy to own this in my collection. Chugcore did a fine job with this CD. Really happy to own this. And then we've got their new album, Reclaimer. Yep. I liked this when it first came out, but as time's gone on, I just kind of gone, nah, it's alright, I guess. In my opinion, Primordial's a little bit better, but Reclaimer is still a damn good album. I just think the symphonics kind of overpower the album, personally. I might review it at some point next year, or towards the end of the year. We'll see what happens. I don't really feel like doing it at the moment, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, next up, Slaughter to Prevail with Chapters of Misery, the Sumerian Records reissue with the bonus track As the Vultures Circle. Yeah, really happy to own this one and just to hear the song Death. Absolutely love that song. Next up, underrated deathcore release in 2017. So This Is Suffering with Palace of the Pessimist. Love this album. Definitely something that I think is going to go under the radar, and something that shouldn't be going under the radar, because in my opinion this is absolutely killer. Next up, classic album I've been wanting for the past 7 years. I've been wanting this for 7 years and I finally found it on eBay and I was just like so buzzed. But this is Sons of Aurelius with The Farthest Reaches. Yeah, if you like the Black Dahlia Murder, you'll find something to like about these guys. But if you want a more progressive Black Dahlia Murder, this is for you. This is excellent, excellent stuff. Kind of a bit of deathcore influence, but yeah, what can I say? Anyway, the new Stone Sour album is next with Hydrograd. Yeah, amazing album. Big step up from the two-part album series that they're doing, House of Golden Bones, I believe it's called. Yeah, it was a good album. Both of them were good albums, but they weren't amazing. This album is amazing. Absolutely love it. Happy to own it. Next up, Straight from the Path with Anonymous. Fucking hell. Oh no, sorry, that's not called Anonymous. Sorry, that's one of the tracks on here, I'm sure. What the fuck am I on? Anyway, this is Straight from the Path with Subliminal Criminals. What the fuck's wrong with me? Just check out this album. I'm going to move on, because that's quite embarrassing, that. Anyway, not the album. The album's fucking killer. Easily the best thing we've done, but I'm just embarrassed now. Anyway, moving on. Suffocation with Human Waste. Had to pick this up not too long ago. Yeah, when I found out it was missing from my collection, I was like, why the fuck is it not in there? Absolutely amazing. Check out the song Catatonia. What a song. Anyway, moving on now. This album's got a bit of an attachment to me now, for many reasons, but I'll get to it in a second. But this is Suffocation with Of the Dark Light. Yeah, which is this album. Yeah. Great album, not gonna lie. It's got a bit of a kind of more brutal, kind of like heavier, as if deathcore sounding influence with the breakdowns and stuff that they usually do. But anyway, moving on. Not too long ago, back in, I believe it was late August or early September, Suffocation was playing a UK tour and European tour. And the last date of the tour was Newcastle. Now, from what I heard, they were meant to have a support from Power Trip, the like thrash bands going around, killer stuff, check them out. But they couldn't do the tour, but they were still looking for opening supports for the entire tour. And obviously being in Newcastle, me and the lads in Erebor put our name forward straight away. And it was months going back and forth trying to get word on who was supporting, because nothing had been announced or anything. And then we got a message on email about a week and a half prior to the gig. Do you want to support for Suffocation? And we played that show. There's footage I'm going to link down below. And we played that show, and it was the best time of our lives. Like, the biggest gig we're ever going to do, probably. And we had the best time. We played with our local brothers, Plague Rider, link down below for them guys. And Suffocation, meeting those guys, they were such cuss lads. And they even offered to play beer pong with us. But that was just before we went to go on, and we were like, it would be a bit shit, but we'll come and see you afterwards. We couldn't find them, but oh well. But anyway, amazing time. I want to just give a shout out to my boys in Erebor, Matt, Tom, Jordan, and Will. I love you lads. I can't wait to get our debut album out next year and just see what lays waste to the future. And that performance, guys, sharing the stage with me brothers was just an absolutely amazing experience. And to see everyone, me friends, me family, all come down. Me older brother, me dad came down. My girlfriend was up on the balconies watching over. It was just such a amazing experience to support Suffocation, one of the best death metal bands going today, and just play the Riverside was just a goal of mine that I thought I'd never ever play it, and I ended up playing it, and I absolutely loved the experience. So thanks to everyone for coming down. But make sure you check out the new Suffocation album, Of the Dark Light. In my opinion, it's brutal as fuck. So moving on. Have I got much coffee left? No. There we go. So next up, we have my first Talk or Tacker album called Strident Huss, I believe it's called. Yeah, I need to check out more of Tacker, because this album is amazing for black metal. Absolutely amazing. Love it. Picked it up not too long ago as well, so you're really happy to own that. Next up, this one I was kind of late at the party with, but this is Testament with Brotherhood of the Snake. Yeah, this album is riffing. Once again, thrash metal is kind of evolving a little bit now and becoming more of a thrash groove metal sort of stuff, you know, with Overkill, Creator, and Testament, and even Anthrax as well. And this album is definitely up there with one of those. This album is absolutely amazing. Absolutely love it. Definitely check it out if you haven't given it a chance. Next up, I got this with Nickelback's album. It was in 2 for 15 in HMV. But this is Textures with Phenotype. Yeah, rest in peace, these guys. Really happy to own this on CD. They left a legacy behind, definitely. Next up, another true core release. This is To the Grave with No Lives Matter EP. Check out that artwork. Amazing deathcore from Australia. If you're into Thy Art Is Murder, I Shall Devour, any of those type of bands, you'll find something like that. These ones. Oh, and also Molotov Solution. Next up, I reviewed this album with me good buddy Matt from Erebor, so make sure you check out this review. But this is Trivium with The Sin and the Sentence. Yeah, great album from Trivium. I'm not going to say too much, link down below. This is going to be such a long description to sort out. Yeah, next up, A Trust Unclean with Partuition. Yeah, this one there, new EP, the pink one. Yeah, really happy to own this EP. Definitely one of the best UK deathcore bands going at the moment. Definitely check out these guys if you're into brutal stuff. Awesome stuff. Actually, if you're into Thy Art Is Murder, definitely check them out. Next up, got my favourite tier album, which is By the Light of the Northern Star. You want some cheesy, kind of folk metal kind of stuff. I hate the term Viking metal, but if you want to call them Viking metal, feel free. Yeah, check it out. Check out the song By the Sword in My Hand if you want ultimate cheese. I absolutely love that song. By the sword in my hand, I will conquer the land. Sorry, I'll move on. Next up, we have Unausprechlichen Kulten with their new album, Keziah Lilith Medea. This is released under Iron Bonehead Records. Yeah. I checked this out because Brain Smasher on YouTube, he was doing a CD collection, and I saw this album, and he explained the concept, and I really was intrigued by it, and he pigeonholed it as black and death metal. Oh, excuse me. It's not going right at the moment. But yeah, I decided to check this out, and in my opinion, this is absolutely amazing stuff. One of the best black and death metal releases of 2017. I'll talk more in my top albums when that video comes, and I might actually do a review. I'm not sure yet, but I'm going to try and do that before the end of the year, because I've got a lot to do before the end of the year, put it that way. Next up, another album I've reviewed, linked down below, The Unholy Concoction with Carnivore. If you're into Crowbar, definitely check these guys out, and check out my review, and the guys signed it as well, really happy about that. Next up, another local one that I reviewed and also got signed, the new Vacivus album, called Temple of the Abyss. Sorry, my bad. You can see 4 signatures, but where is it now? There's one. You can barely see it, but it was a gold pen, and we thought, oh, it might show up a little bit better, but it didn't. So yeah, there we go. But this album, check it out if you're into Incantation or Father Be Fouled. Next up, I mentioned this in my last updates and purchases that Metal Viking 82 told us to check out this album. I absolutely love it. This is Litany by Vader. Easily my favourite Vader album now. I love the production. I think it's kind of weird and unique sounding, but I dig it. Absolutely amazing album. Definitely check it out if you haven't already. It's absolute classic. Next up, Venom Inc. with Eve. Now, Metal Viking 82 also agrees with me. This trumps anything that the original Venom has put out. Like, old Venom, it's alright. It's not amazing, in my opinion. I never understood, like, the hype about them, personally. I can understand where the hype came from, but no. But this album, in my opinion, slays. It's got the riffs, it's got the darkness. It's not a, like, truly blackened album. It's just got this dark atmosphere to it that you really need to check out if you haven't already. Venom Inc. definitely. Venom Inc. over Venom any day of the week. Next up, I got the new Volumes album with Different Animals. I was a bit sceptical about checking this album out, but because Mike Terry's now doing vocals for them, I had to buy it. And it's a really good album. It's decent. It's kind of forgetful at some points, but yeah, I enjoy it. What's the song? Feels Good. Absolutely love that song. It's definitely a kind of feel-good kind of song. And next up, the final two. I got this on eBay really cheap. Season of Mist put this out, a deathcore release. What do you know? But this is War from the Harlot's Mouth with Voye. I believe that's how it's pronounced. Yeah. I haven't heard this album in a long time, so I can't remember what it sounds like, but I'm really looking forward to checking it out again, because I remember War from the Harlot's Mouth being like a big deal back in the My Face deathcore days, so yeah. And the final one, this is a 2017 release, and it's, crusty black metal sort of stuff. I have no reference to what bands, the only band that I know that's in that genre is Young and in the Way, and I don't think these kind of sound anything alike, but yeah, I decided to pick this up. But this is Wormwitch with Strike Mortal Soil. I mainly picked this, check this out because of that amazing artwork. Look at that, and their logo's pretty sweet as well. They're on tour in America with the Black Dahlia Murder for their Nightbringers tour. I believe that's now over, but whatever. But this album is killer as hell. Definitely check it out if you're into black metal. It's very riff heavy, if you ask me. I know Cam Blagger says it, and I agree with him. Black metal is the antithesis of heavy, you know. But yeah, make sure you check out this album. It's really enjoyable. Definitely something you need to check out. So yeah, if you look, that's 3 giant piles we've just got through. So hope you've stuck around for the ride, the full thing, and you have smoked about, well, 3 cigarettes in this long video. I might as well also just prompt, just quickly, I got this new chair in the post yesterday after I done my other video. In fact, I'm going to take it out so you can actually see. Yeah, it's like a racing car seat. I know, I'm kind of sad, but what can you do? I'm really happy about that. That's the setup, anyway. But yeah, that's the new chair of Destiny, should we just say? This is the pick of Destiny. Anyway, sorry about that. But yeah, thanks for sticking around for the video. I hope you've stuck through all these CDs and stuff like that. Sorry it took so long for updates and purchases number 35. As I said in the previous one, I'm working on something special for a future updates and purchases to debut. All I can say is just stick around. It'll come eventually. But yeah, I'm planning to do a couple of reviews. There's a couple of albums I definitely want to review before the end of the year. Unholy, and Concoction is definitely one of them. The new Morbid Angel, I definitely want to do those two. But I've also got a digital review of Misanthropy as well. Great, I believe Middlesbrough based kind of progressive deathcore, metalcore sort of stuff. So I've got that coming. I've got another digital review of Infected Dead, another great UK band. I will also point out I'm waiting on it at the moment, but I'm waiting on a Xanthocroid package. I've got the albums that I reviewed previously coming in like a nice double disc set, which will appear in the next episode of Updates and Purchases, which I'm going to try and do just after Christmas. And then obviously concluding the year with top albums of 2017. You'll probably know what the list is. For those who have us on Facebook will know exactly what my list is pretty much. But yeah, until then, I'll see you until the next video. And remember, stay metal. I'll see you later.